Let me be very clear. If you do nothing differently, 2026 will look exactly like 2025. That's not pessimism. That's how patterns work. You've probably watched videos like this before. You felt motivated. You agreed with everything. And then, nothing really changed. Not because you didn't try. Not because you're lazy. But because almost everyone fixes the wrong things. Today, I'm not giving you motivation. I'm giving you a checklist, the exact places where change quietly fails. If even one of these applies to you, you already know why years keep repeating. So don't listen to this like advice. Listen to it like a mirror. Because the goal here isn't to feel inspired. It's to finally see what you've been missing. Let's start with the first one. 1. Do you actually have rules, or just good intentions? Let's start with something basic. When you wake up, do you know how your day starts? Or do you just hope you'll be disciplined? Because there's a big difference. Most people start the year saying, I'll focus more. I'll be more consistent. I'll stop wasting time. But those aren't rules. They're intentions. And intentions collapse the moment life interferes. A rule sounds different. I don't touch my phone for the first 30 minutes. I start work at the same time every weekday. I finish one task before opening messages. Rules remove negotiation. Intentions require willpower. And willpower is unreliable. Here's a simple test. If someone followed you for a week, would they clearly see patterns you never break? If the answer is no, your year already has a problem. 2. Are you waiting to feel ready before you start? This one trips up almost everyone. Are you quietly telling yourself, I'll start when I feel confident, when I have more energy, when things calm down? Pause for a second. How often has that moment actually arrived in your life? Life rarely slows down first. Confidence rarely comes before action. Most people who change don't feel ready. They start tired. They start unsure. They start imperfectly. Waiting to feel ready feels responsible, but it's usually avoidance. So ask yourself honestly, do you act even when motivation is low? Or only when you feel good about yourself? If it's the second one, progress will always come in short bursts, then disappear. 3. Have you fixed the one habit that ruins your days? This one matters more than most people want to admit. Everyone has one habit that quietly ruins everything else. For some people, it's staying up late. For others, it's endless phone scrolling. For some, it's avoiding the hardest task. For others, it's overcommitting and burning out. You already know which one it is for you. But instead of fixing that one habit, most people try to improve everything around it. They eat better, but still sleep late. They plan goals, but still waste mornings. They consume advice, but avoid execution. Improvement doesn't come from adding habits. It comes from fixing the biggest leak. Until that one habit is addressed, no new routine will stick, and no new year will feel different. 4. Are you doing the work, or just thinking about it? This one is uncomfortable, so be honest. How much time do you spend watching videos, reading posts, saving advice, planning improvement, versus actually doing something uncomfortable? Thinking feels productive. Planning feels safe. But thinking doesn't change your life. Real progress looks boring. It looks repetitive. It looks like doing the same small thing again, even when it doesn't feel rewarding. Here's a simple check. For every 30 minutes you consume, are you spending at least 10 minutes doing? If not, your brain feels busy, but your life stays the same. 5. What do you do after you fail once? This one decides everything. Miss a workout, what happens next? Break your routine, what do you do? Have a bad day, how do you respond? Most people restart. They wait for Monday. They wait for next month. They wait for motivation to return. That's not discipline. That's perfectionism pretending to be standards. People who improve don't restart. They continue, badly. They accept imperfect days. They don't let one mistake erase momentum. A simple rule that actually works. Never miss twice. One bad day is normal. 2 in a row becomes a pattern. If every mistake causes a reset, progress never compounds. And without compounding, years blur together. Be honest with yourself. You don't need to answer out loud. Just notice. Which of these did you quietly skip? Rules. Readiness. That one habit. Action versus thinking. What you do after failure. Missing even 2 of these is enough to repeat the same year. That's not judgment. That's just how patterns work. Here's the boring truth most people don't like. You don't need more motivation, a new personality, a perfect routine. You need a few clear rules, one habit fixed properly, action before confidence, a less thinking, more doing, consistency after mistakes. That's it. No hype. No transformation story. Just repetition done honestly. Most people won't do this because it doesn't feel inspiring. That's exactly why it works. If 2026 ends up different, it won't be because you tried harder. It'll be because you stopped lying to yourself about what actually needed fixing. If this made you pause, that's a good sign. Subscribe if you want content that focuses on what actually improves life, not what sounds good in January.